Sister, welcome today for this session of how to raise kids in Islam. And one of the most challenging, not only for the Muslim, for the entire humanity, is especially in nowadays where there is internet revolution, social media revolution, is how to keep the kids in a safe, not only safely at home, but also in a mental safe, which means that their mind should not go away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us. One of the biggest verses in the Quran, it says, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already completed this deen and perfected his ni'mah on us, and he approved Islam as a religion or a pathway for us as Muslims. Let me just start with why we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has perfected this deen for us. Is first of all, this deen is for the Quran. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already created this human being. And this human being has many levels and many, it goes from the birth to the child, to the youth, to the elder, to the seniors, and to go back to from where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to go. So these are phases of development of the human being. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us, as parents, responsible about this beautiful blessing that He gave all of us, which is they are our children. Our children is not only a blessing, it's also any blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you is connected to it as a responsibility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum. He didn't say, Al-yawma akmaltu to me or lakum. In Arabic, lakum is to you. What does it mean? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you something, it means that you have to be responsible about it. So when I tell you this is your kid, it means that you have to be responsible about your kid. Your wife, it means that you have to be responsible about your wife. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, as a Muslim, the mission that He has gave us to protect this deen. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, and another, wa atmamtu alaykum. Alaykum, it's on you. Ni'mati wa radaytu lakum. Lakum again is for you. So all this for you, it's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is needed from you is to achieve and to complete this responsibility the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to be completed and the way Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam want to be completed. So I'll start with the first slide. Hopefully you are good. So the first slide is this human being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has many components. So الإنسان روح وجسد روح يتغذى من الوحي وجسد يتغذى من الأرض وعقل يتغذى بالعلم. So this insan, the human being in front of you, either he is your kid or one of the students. If you are a teacher, your student, or if you are a dad, your kids, or if you are a man, your kids also. He has component that they have this component has to be fed. One of the component of this component is ar-ruh. Ar-ruh is the spirit, and this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it is the one who وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ ruh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He gave us a body and a ruh. This ruh has to be fed from the above, and this body has to be fed from down, from the earth, from the plantation, from the meat, from the anything related to the earth. And the ruh is related to be fed from above, from the wahi from the Quran and Sunnah. So, and the other component is this brain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He favored the human being by having a brain. He didn't give this brain to the animals or to the other creator, but He favored the insan by having a brain. It means all these components, the ruh and the body and the brain, has to be fed. But they are fed from different sources. So al-ruh is going to be fed by al-wahi, and the body is going to be fed by the nutrition, and the aql is going to be fed by the education. And other verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, Wallahu anbatakum min al-ardi nabata. Allah is giving us an example that Allah has brought you from the earth is like a plantation. You grow like a plantation. ثُمَّ يُعِيدُكُمْ فِيهَا. And one day you go back to the earth that you are coming from. ثُمَّ يُخْرِجُكُمْ إِخْرَاجًا. And in the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring us back. So that's why when we go back and anybody of us is going to pass away, but when we go back and we pass away, the body goes under the ground and the ruh goes to heavens, right? So everybody will go back from where it comes from. So this spiritual dimension is al-janib al-ruhi. So the spirit, how you feel this spirit? The spirit, which is the heart of the human body, especially as a Muslim, you have thousands of ayat that talks about al-qalb. And لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها. These are the sources of, these are the components, and these are the medium for getting knowledge, which is the ears, the eyes, the qalb, and the aql. So those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah, and consumably by the remembrance of Allah, heart are assured. So as-salat, so one of the things that you have to teach your kids about how to be connected spiritually, to have a strong connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is by having him putting some schedule so where he can perform his salat at time, where he has some time to read Quran, time to have dhikr, time to make dua, and preferably if the parent, mom and dad and kids, they have this together. Instead of you tell your son, go ahead and read your Quran, or your girls, go ahead and pray. Why not come, kids? Let's pray, let's read Quran together, or let's pray together. That will make more connection, that all the family is in connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, version everybody by himself. So this is a spiritual dimension that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created in each human being. So the next is the cognition dimension. Why we send our kids to school? So nobody can say that I cannot send my son or my girl to school. Is for a reason. This reason is to uplift their way of thinking and their way of understanding what's going on around them. So the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge, that one is named cognition dimension. الجانب التربوي والتعليمي إنما العلم بالتعلم. الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم in one of the ahadith said إنما العلم بالتعلم. You wanna get knowledge, you have to put yourself in the path of getting knowledge. We are not here describing traditional school or modern school, but the whole idea is how to get knowledge. إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you, bless your kids with ears and with eyes, and so make sure that, try your best that these ears and eyes are fed in a halal way. So especially nowadays we have this challenging cell phones and mass media in front of our kids, and the good news, everybody, mashallah, has a house, and his kid is living by himself in his own room. So there is no way to police your kids in the 21st century. There is no way to keep watching on your kids what they are doing every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. So what does it mean? It means that you have to be creative enough by having him, putting him in some schedule, putting him in some programs where he cannot spend too much time by himself. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu he was asked about the education of the kids. He said, أشغلوهم في الخير قبل أن يشتغلوا في الشر. It's very easy. You can, these two words that was said by Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, people, they wrote books just to explain these two words. أشغلوهم في الخير. Make them busy with the good before they will be busy with the bad. This is a human being, you like it or not. If you keep yourself or your kids having nothing to do, they will feel it with something wrong. Because everything around them is telling them to go to the wrong before to go to the right. What does it mean? It means that you have to put them in a program that they will spend their time, their free time in the good. Fill their time from the morning to the evening by something good, then they will not find any time for shaitan to be pulled by shaitan or to be pulled by the wrongdoers or to be pulled by some wrong peers at school or elsewhere.
لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها
أولئك كالأنعام. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the people who don't use their ears and their eyes for the good. He described them, they are like the an'am. There is no difference between them and the animals, because the animals, they are not given any mission in life. They are not given any things. It's just they are a source of good to the human being himself. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you with something, but you are not using it, it means that you are kind of degrading yourself to the level of the animals. If somebody has a Mercedes at home and he's putting it in the garage and he's not using it forever, what's good about it, about having a car? Somebody who's having a bicycle is better than you. So same thing. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you some blessing, kids are a blessing by themselves. So you have to make sure to use them for the good and don't let them be used for the bad. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the entire globe as in Quran subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala direct our eyes and our ears to watch the universe, right? Tafakkarun. So the ulama, they said there is a Quran al-Mastur or Quran al-Mandur. The Quran al-Mastur is the one that is the Masjid. When you read the Masjid directs you to watch the sun, the moon, the universe, how this, the wind, how it works. That's by education. But the main thing is that is given to you and to me by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All this is mentioned in the Quran. So, and when you see the universe and you see the moon and you say, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. It's an ayah in the verses in the Quran. So the Quran directs you to the universe, and when you look at the universe, you say, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا سُبْحَانَكَ فَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. You are giving an answer to yourself by conviction. By going to the universe, you look to the universe and you go back and you say, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. It means that you recognize the beauty and you recognize the beauty of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the next dimension is al-ilm. طلب العلم فريضة. Al-ilm is you are not giving a favor to your kid by sending him to school. It's a farida. By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he asked us, he instructed us to send our kids for knowledge. Now when it comes what kind of knowledge, that's another discussion. But the main thing is that kids are made to learn at school, either traditional school or modern school. The only thing the parents are responsible. So talabul ilmi farida, not only like some fuqaha 200 years back, they objected for girls to go to school, but Rasul he said, "Farida an kulli muslimin wa muslima." Even girls, they have right to go to school. They have right to get the knowledge. And there is another hadith, أطلبوا العلم ولو في الصين. Imagine Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Mecca, where there is a desert, where there is few people, where there is no source of knowledge. But at that time, the Muslim and the Arabs, they knew that there is a civilization, there is an empire, name it of is China, which means Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he directed them, you have to seek knowledge even if you go to China. So it means what? It means you have to seek knowledge wherever you are. The whole idea is to get the knowledge. Now, how you use the knowledge for the good of the humanity, for the good of your family, there are two kinds of knowledge. Why we are against the material civilization in the world? Because they have knowledge, they have resources, but they are using this knowledge to destroy part of the people. Let's say somebody he has knowledge, but instead of creating or inventing a medicine to solve the problem of some sick people, he creates pills that if somebody eat it, he will die, or he'll go drown, or he'll go. So what does it mean? There are two ways. Either you use your knowledge for the benefit of the humanity, or you use your knowledge to destroy the humanity. The Muslim one, when they went from Mecca to India, to Pakistan, to North Africa, to everywhere where they went, they never think to how to harm other civilization, or how to harm other society, or how to harm other community. They always think how to benefit the others. That's why this is where the primordial issue between the Muslim thinkers and the Muslim scholars and the Western scholars. The Western scholars, they don't care about is this beneficial or if this harmful. So they say the ideology of that is دعه يعمل دعه يمر دعه يمر. Laissez passer, laissez faire. It's a French word, which is, if you want to tomorrow come to me, I am a governor, and you tell me I want a store to sell alcohol, I'll tell you, go ahead. Since it brings money to the tax, I will tax you, it brings money to the city, go ahead. You can sell alcohol. But in Islam, it's not that way. In Islam is دعه يعمل دعه يمر بشرط أن لا يضر. Laissez passer, laissez faire, with one condition: he should not harm people, or he should not harm animals, or he should not harm the environment. So, and who's telling us what is the harmful? Is the Quran and Sunnah. Quran is the one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us this is good and this is bad. The do and the don't of the Quran never always you have to go to. Even when we are teaching our kids at the early age, we tell them this is haram, this is halal, do this, don't do this. The Quran is made that way. And on the top of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as a role model, somebody who's Sayyidah Aisha said, كان قرآن يمشي. He was a walking Quran. Wherever the Quran instructs something good, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he did it. Whenever the Quran instructed or not to do some, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba, they prevent to do that. So it means what? Talabul ilm, we have to seek knowledge. The only thing is you have to look for the right knowledge, and the knowledge that benefits you, the community, and your family, and the humanity at large. There is a saying about one of the scholars in Algeria. A long time he said, إن لم نربي الأبناء فنحن نبني على الماء. This scholar name is Abdul Hamid ibn Badis. When he was giving his speech to the governor and to the people around him, in order to make them focus on teaching the kids, he told them, إن لم نربي الأبناء فنحن نبني على الماء. If we don't teach and educate our kids, it's like you are building on a water. So a mission of a Muslim as a nation is to build a community of knowledge. When the community of knowledge, how you start the community of knowledge is by teaching the kids themselves. And these kids, they have to grow up and they have to be a scholar. And that's how our civilization, the Islamic civilization, went from Jakarta to Tangiers, is by giving knowledge. Instructor and sheikh and group of people, they learn from a sheikh, and then they become student. He gave them ijazah. Then they go to another city and they start teaching, and then they have around 10 around them, and then they give them ijazah after a year or two, and then these people will travel and they give them ijazah. That's how the Islamic knowledge is spread. So what he said is, you have to, in a way or another, it's a must on each dad, on each parent, to educate their kids. Otherwise, it's not a matter of educating your kid, it's a matter of educating the Muslim kids. Because when the Muslim kids, they have the same knowledge, they can put their knowledge in project, they can put their knowledge in programs, they can put their knowledge in event, and then that's how they influence the community and they influence the society around them by being a good role model for the society. So the environment dimension, never underestimate the environment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create this environment for us. We interact with a Muslim, with a non-Muslim. Our kids, they interact with a Muslim, with a non-Muslim. They interact, boys, they interact with girls. They might interact with girls. They might interact girls with boys. So this world is not safe 100%. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure where you put your kids. Your kids is surrounded by whom? Who's mingling with your kids? So to understand if your kids, they are well protected or not. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yuladu al-mar'u ala al-fitra." Every single kid is born on the fitra. On the fitra, it means what? He recognizes Allah. On the fitra, he knows that there is a deity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the fitra, he recognizes if you put his finger on the fire, he will pull his finger because he knows that fire is not good, right? So al-fitra, he knows that his parents are here to protect him. That's al-fitra. So فَأَبَوَاهُ يُهَوِّدَانِهُ أَوْ يُنَصِّرَانِهُ أَوْ يُمَجِّسَانِهُ. It means what? He's born on Islam, but if you put him in a wrong environment, he can't be anything else. It's up to you where you put your kids. So, and why I'm telling that? Because nowadays, this between court, this LGBT movement, when you tell them that this is what you are doing, it's wrong, they will tell you, وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا. We find our fathers doing that, we are doing it. It means what? We are not responsible. They try to send the responsibility on their parent. وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا. This is the Quran. Don't accept this. وَإِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً قَالُوا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا آبَاءَنَا. So you cannot send your whatever wrongdoing and you put it on your parent, and the parent, they cannot put their wrongdoing on their kids. Oh, because I love him too much, so I bought him this. Because I love my son too much, I bought him this. No. And one of the wisdom that Sayyidina al-Khidr, he killed the boy because he was cherished too much by his parent, and al-Khidr, he knows if this boy will stay on the earth, he will corrupt his parent and he will corrupt the environment. So he made the right decision to sacrifice that, and he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to substitute him with some pious kids in the future. We are following our father. كان رسول الله عليه وسلم يملأنا ويفرغنا. الصحابة رضي الله عنهم, when they were asked how Rasul where you were surrounding Rasul, especially at the time of Mecca, they said, كان الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يفرغنا ثم يملينا. Rasul, he sees the Sahaba and the kids. You have to see your kids is like a pot. You can empty it and you can fill it. Empty it from what? Empty it from the vice, empty it from the wrongdoing, It's you are the one responsible about how you feel the brain and the heart of your kids. It's on you. Especially, I always, the parents come to me and ask me, I tell them, as a parent, you own your kids only 10 years, especially here in the West. Only 10 years. From 1 year to 5 years, the kid is mostly with his mom, okay? From 15 and up, the kid is mostly with his peers and friends and outside, and especially here in America, at the 15, you buy him a car, he's got a car, he got a job. Where the dad is going to meet his son after 15? No, nowhere. If they don't come, both of them, and meet in the masjid and pray in the masjid, there is nowhere to catch your son. He come in the night, midnight, he tell you, Baba, I am exhausted. I went to school from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and I want to work from 6 to midnight. Where are you going to meet your son? So, كان الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يفرغنا ويملينا. Here is where you go. You have to, your kids, it's your responsibility, and you are the one, you should put program for them, and make sure that most of, when we come to the West, we are corrupted by following and running after the dunya. And the happiness of the family and the happiness of the kid is not to run after the dunya. The dunya, Al-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, ضَعُوهَا فِي أَيْدِيكُمْ وَلَا تَضَعُوهَا فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. The dunya, make it, put it in your hand, don't put it in your heart. Don't love the dunya. The dunya is just a means for the akhirah. So now let's move to the body dimension. So we talk about the spiritual dimension, which is the heart, the education, the cognition, which is the brain, and the environment, dimension. And now we have to move to the body dimension. This body is a shape. And you have, mashallah, you have muscles, you have fingers, you have hand, you have all this, but all these are under the whatever, the brain or is the one who ordered them some instruction to do. It means that they don't have any power other than the following what the brain tells them. So, but we live in a world where the shaping of your body, it gives insight about who you are. And there is a saying that what you eat is what you are, right? So in the Western spectrum, they give too much value to the body. So it means what? We live with some people that we should not ignore how we look to the other. Part of the da'wah is you display yourself to the other in a smiling mood, you display in a nice, so people will be attracted the first by you, by your look. And then after that, they will start asking you who you are. I am a Muslim, I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I follow Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then they will start questioning. But this is the Western civilization. The look is primordial, the first thing to be appear to you. So why we have to take care of our, when we are teaching or when we are educating our kids, we have to put some programs for their body. Put them in soccer, in a basketball, in any sport, so they can exercise the sport and they can feel better. So respect the hobby. If they have a hobby, if he likes tennis, let him play tennis. If he likes soccer, let him play soccer. Go but what he likes, because that's where he's going to excel in the future. أشغلهم في الخير قبل أن يشتغلوا في الشر. This we talk about it. نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ. There's a hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that many people, we have free time, but we don't know how to use it. Many people, they envy you because you have free time and you are healthy, mashallah. There are people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are through a trial or through a sickness, but you are good, you are healthy. Use this health and use free time for the good. نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس. Two blessings, health and free time. Many people, they don't have it, and they wish they have it. And they say the only way to recognize the ni'mah and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on you is when you go and you visit the hospitals. Go and visit the hospitals and you see the sick people. By that time you say, oh, Allah gave me health and I'm not using it for the right. I'm not using it for to do Qiyam al-Layl, to wake up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock and pray for Tahajjud. I'm not using it to go and visit my friend. I'm not using it to give a ride to my friend to the airport. I'm not using it to help a needy or something like that. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you a health, gave you free time, try your best to use it. And how you educate your kids is by taking him with you. Take your kids wherever you go. Take them with you so he can learn from their dad and their mom how to help others, how to visit the sick, how to do things right in life. Because 99% of the kids, they follow, and they will be kind of another image of their dad or their mom. So, and there is another saying, or some of the people, they said it's a hadith, but it's not a hadith. They say, al-jismu salim fil aql salim. If you have a body, a good shape, sportive, your brain is clean, and you can, it means what? It means all these components, they have connection to each other. If you feel good about yourself, about your body, your spirit and your brain should feel good, and vice versa too. So, علموا أولادكم الرماية والسباحة وركوب الخيل. Rasul alayhi wasallam, he instructs us as a parent to teach our kids some of the activity, sport activity. At that time, it was a rimaya and a sibaha, which is swimming, and rukub al-khayl, and horsing. But doesn't mean that sport is limited to only these ones, but every generation, they have their own sport. And I heard from Sheikh Hamza Yusuf one time describing this hadith, which is amazing rephrasing of Sheikh Hamza Yusuf. He said, why we have to teach our kids a rimaya, the archery? Why we teach? He said that because it teaches them how to focus in prayer, how to focus when you are reading the Quran, how to focus when you are playing. It means what? You learn the focus. At this tea time from 9 to 9:15, I want to focus on memorizing Quran. From 9:15 to this, I want to focus on doing my homework. So the kid, when the rimaya, the archery, it teaches him the focus. And السباحة, why you teach our kids السباحة is that Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, he said that natation, والله فهمتني, swimming, when you are swimming, when you are learning swimming, is you are learning how to put problems on the side. You are using your hand. Okay, a wave is coming, I want to put it on the side with my right hand. Another wave is coming, I want to put it on the side. But your target, you are going from A to B. It means that you are focusing again to go from one station to another, but there are waves, there are problems in life. Life is not straight, life is ups and down. So when you have this down, you have to know how to overcome these things. That's why you have to know how to navigate. So, Rukub al-Khayl, and Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, he described that the horsing, why you teach our kids the horsing, is, he said that if somebody knows how to manage a horse, he knows how to manage a nation. He knows how to manage a community. That's when he learned at the early age how to manage a horse, it means that he knows how and when he used the right word for the right action, for the right behavior, for the right things. So you cannot go to a janaza and you talk to the people about, and you say, you are joking to make people laugh. You cannot do that. It's a common sense. You are in a janaza, you have to give the janaza its own, so, and vice versa. So the Muslim should know where I want to use things that will impact people and will influence my surrounding. That's also, again, when you teach your kids these things, that he will not make mistakes in his life and people will take him as a role model. So the social dimension, this is the last dimension that we have to make it when you are putting a schedule for your, alhamdulillah, as Islamic Center of Irving, we provide too many of the activity of social dimension. Social dimension is when the Muslims come together. When they come together for a project, we are having a Sira conference next week. We are asking parents to bring their kids, their girls. It's a Mawlid al-Nabawi. We'll celebrate it, and we are one family at the end. So what is social dimension is, in Arabic, they name it al-janib al-ijtima'i. Weddings, picnics, carnivals, community breakfast, games, tournament, all these are bring people together and bring Muslims together, and we have to give this a priority also in our life. Your kid and my kid, they are not going to live in silo by themselves. They have to live with the people. They have to make mistakes in their life, and they have their kids or their peers, they will correct them. Sometimes they correct them in an unknowing way, but at the end, they have to interact with the people. That's the social. The only thing is, we are a Muslim, we have some manners that should be implemented in our houses, in our Masjid, in our community, and we instruct and we educate our kids with these manners. So little by little, they will be responsible. And I see it in the kids of the community. They give me a hard time when they are at the age of 10, 11, 12, and at the age of 14, 15, they start respecting, and you ask them to bring this table, bring this chair, they bring it and they help. It's just a matter of sabr, it's a matter of patience on these kids, it's a matter of they are not mature. So, but at the end, we have to take them through the curve, the learning curve, and they become a good asset for our community in the future. So some of the social dimension is visiting a friend, visiting the sick, going to the hospitals, ittiba'u janaiz, going to the janaza, following the janaza. All this, it teaches the kids the empathy, the being brothers, the visiting the empathy, and teaching them things in life that they needed down the road in their life. So the parent responsibility. I already started with this one. I want to finish with this one. يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُم. This is a verses from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you to take care of your kid. It's not a favor from you. You are doing this as ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you should take care of your kids. It's just, don't go to your kids and you tell them, I am doing this for you, you have to do this for me. It's not that way. Okay, maybe you said that to your friend, but not to your kids. Your kids, it's a must to teach them and to educate them the right way and in the right manners. So I want to open the floor for the question. If you have any question, I can answer. I'll try my best to answer. Jazakumullah khair. I think we have. Anybody want to ask a question? We have. Bismillah. Barakallah. Barakallah. Okay, if you have a question, we can end our discussion, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك جزاكم الله خير بارك الله فيك